Okay, the next section on effective communication is talking about the different communication styles that individuals have, or it's also referred to as different learning styles. And this is something that we learn in education when you're teaching people, that people learn best through different methods. Through the NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, is referred to as representational systems. Again, this is something that you can do some more research on. But visual learners will use terms like, I see what you mean. Okay? I see how that's happening. An auditory learner would say something like, that sounds good to me, or I like the sound of that. A tactile learner says, it feels right, that feels good. A kinesthetic person says, let's do it. The other two, less than 2% of the population, have learning styles or communication styles that are olfactory or gustatory, but if they do, they'd say something like, this stinks, nose. Or gustatory is, I want it so bad I can taste it. And by using phrases like this, that's how you identify a person's representational style or their learning style. The first is visual learners. That's the largest single group. Approximately 40% of the population are visual learners. Okay. Now, none of these are exclusive. Now, a visual learner also learns auditorily or also learns in tactile manner, but it's primarily through visual. So with a visual learner, some of the assignments that you might give them between session would be reading something, watching a video, observing something, even if it's to read a book or read an article or to look up something on the internet. So they learn best by reading or by seeing. A lot of times photographs, drawings are effective with the visual learners. Now, as I mentioned in the very beginning, I've tried to put this presentation together to appeal to a wide variety of learners. So you have something here to read, you have something here to hear, and you have your workbooks that you do for the tactile and the kinesthetic learners. Second is the auditory learners, about 22% of the population. They learn best by listening. So assignments that you may give to the auditory learners are to go to a lecture or to listen to this audio or to have a discussion with somebody about something. Okay? You can have tapes, even music. When we get into the section on changing motivation, we'll talk about some different auditory kinds of techniques to use. Third is the tactile, which is about 20% of the population. They respond best to feelings, and this is both physical and emotional. When you're working with them or in a conversation, they very often will have something in their hand, something that they're touching. Okay. Now, they would be more effective if you ask them to write something down. Write about how you feel when your wife says you'll never be a good musician, or whatever. Okay, they have to touch. The kinesthetic, about 10% of the population, that's very hands-on. Those are people who want to do it. They want to try it out. Even doing role-playing is very good for kinesthetic learners. Building something. Got the same line there twice, don't I? Okay, 2% of the population are the olfactory and the gustatory, and that's such a small percentage, and we're not even going to deal with that. I can't imagine somebody whose primary way to learn things is by smelling of them. I never learned anything by smelling a book. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, dogs have got that part down, so they do. Okay.